Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to start our conversation about the Jupiter, which start his retrograde on September 4th. The reason I decided to make this video before I'm going to make my next video for 12 signs to explain to you how until December 31st, we're all going to be affected on our own way about the Jupiter retrograde. It's really, really important to understand the nature of Jupiter and to understand how we can control this period of time, and in general, how can we connect to the essence of the Jupiter in order for us, this cosmic, huge, amazing creature body was created for us in order to benefit us. Because during the Jupiter retrograde, it can give us sometimes unpredictable results. So just a couple things let's understand about this retrograde. You can see I'm sharing with you the moment of the day, September 4th. And as always, we need to remember the seed of anything extremely important. Why? In order for us to understand our essence, we need to look at the natal chart. We look in the moment of the birth, the moment we receive the first breath. This is why the rising is extremely important, because this is the moment when we're going to receive our ego. Right? This is what really Orma keeps around light, the rising it represents in our chart. This is same thing, very always important to look at the essence of the moment of any important event happen in the cosmic event. And we can understand what kind of continuation we're going to have and how to deal with that. Now, let's just come back to really to the details about this retrograde, because the Jupiter start his enterings to the Aries was on this year on April 20th in 2023. Right away, when he entered, he joined the energy of the Rahu, because Rahu was already in Aries, which creates some kind of turbulence, for many of us, and in general in humanity, because Jupiter represent our teacher. He represents our guru, but our kind guru, right? So Jupiter joined Rahu can create a situation where some kind of, rapid, sudden growth with sudden desire, it's really possible. Because both planet Jupiter and Rahu, they, in the essence, represent expansion for desire, to expand our vessel, but from different essence, from different intention, right? But the Highland, it's not the most positive for Jupiter to be in Aries, in the sense of reactive nature of Aries. So we need to understand what come with the expansion, right? It's really important, because the result in obstacles can really sometimes set us back because of the illusion of the Rahu comes together with Jupiter, and it's almost like can activate some negative karmic baggage from the past lives, which is exactly what's been happening in the whole entire world. Now Jupiter will be alone in the Aries for the final 4 months. He was there, right, until he start his retrograde, which is his retrograde in September, and he's going to finish retrograde on December 31st. Now, right, another thing, what's happened the moment when he started his retrograde on September 4th, Venus was stationary. And, when Venus was the stationary at that moment, Jupiter was right away activate the relationship, and he was activate our skills, how we communicate with other people, in a little bit on a reactive way, right? Now, when we look at the degree on when he will start his retrograde, and it was in 21-22 degree in Aries, which is placement in direct sky. It's called Oceanus. Yes, I'm trying to pronounce from Latinus, Oceanus, which is represent royal power. And in general, in Aries, there's not too many easy degrees. Most of the degrees of Aries sign, it's a challenging degrees. It's the degrees when we really need to learn the communication from the place of back off, almost like you need to learn how to pause, the opposite of nature of Aries. And when Jupiter come there, he really expand the energy, and through bounce his way toward motion in the Aries degrees. And any planet in the retrograde motion can give us unpredictable, random results. We need to understand this. Now, Jupiter's nature push for positivity, growth, truth, learning wisdom. It could decrease bit a little bit and start to give us a little bit confusion and uncertainty about the spirituality. If the spirituality really works, if this is really, really something I can really apply in daily life, look what's happening in the world, right? So, but this is the most important time for us to show creation. Then we believe in the cause and effect. We believe in the rule of creation, not when it's comfortable, when it's most uncertain, when it's the hardest time. This is the time of the truth. I really understand. It's making us question what is actually truth, what is illusion, especially in the illusion reality we live. We call in Hebrew ulam sheker, the world of lies. And what is good, what is the fair and fair. And don't forget, one of the traits of character of Sagittarius, which is the Jupiter represent, it's looking for truth and fairness. And this is when Sagittarius many times losing the sometimes belief system when they're trying to understand the the reality, which is what is really reality, right? Now, during the Jupiter retrograde phases, Rahu Ketu axis will also be shifting. And therefore, we're going to really, really feel this energy. I'm going to show you after in the sky the moment of Jupiter stationary, which is extremely important. And you need to open your natal chart, guys, and check what do you have between 21, 22 degrees in Aries until 4th degree, because the Jupiter will be passing those degrees all this period of time. And I will tell you exactly the period of time, so you will have a little bit. So basically, we have it's 118 times. 118 days. We're going to have this period of time, right? Until December 31st. So it's really, really important for us to look at that and to understand the natal chart, because the general explanation is one thing, but my goal for those of you who connect and listen to my channel, you need to understand we came here to become teachers. We came here to become real healers. And every time when we learn from each other, I'm learned from different books, from righteous people. I learned from tzaddikim, this is my main teaching coming from. I learned the way of thinking, the way of growth, how they accomplish such a deep understanding and such a imunah, such a true belief and bitachon, the insurance with the Creator. Then I really want, one of the things the only envious we should have according to Zohar, the Holy Zohar, is the envious of righteous. Why? Because the righteous, he's so close to the creation with his understanding of the creation and with his kind heart. And when his, lack of judgment, because he see completely different pictures, we need at least to know what is possible and where we should go. And what is the Jupiter in Hebrew? Is the tzedek. Let me just quickly show you. I'm gonna share with you the image I create for all of us. And this is something I strongly recommend for you guys to do screenshot. And with the screenshot, just keep this with you in your cell phone with you all the time. I'm going to teach you how to use this combination. It's really, really important. If you're working with Hebrew alphabet and you study Zohar, you study Kabbalistic knowledge, or maybe you're completely new into it, I strongly recommend for you guys to understand the power of Hebrew alphabet. And because I myself, because I practice Kabbalistic knowledge for many years, and I work with Hebrew alphabet, I can stress enough and tell you how powerful the energy and vibration of Hebrew alphabet, because the whole universe, everything created with it. So you can see, this is the name of Jupiter in Hebrew. It's tzedek. Now, tzedek, direct translation, it's righteous. And then what is the letter create? Jupiter, every cosmic body was created with different Hebrew alphabet. It's letter Gimel. You can see, right? It's look like a shoe. Now, Gimel have a different as well. Gimel represent, in other word, the pride. So another thing, we need to learn how to diminish the pride, which is not serving us, how to be humble And as more humble you are, as bigger you become, like a Jupiter. Now we have another letter Yud. Now the combination Gimel and Yud, Yud and Gimel, this is the combination which is increase our memory. Because when Jupiter retrograde plus with Rahu, and there's going to be another few combinations when he's going to arrive on his century, our mind will be challenged with not just uncertainty, with sometimes even losing memory to focus. So when you're going to have this, always meditate on tzedek and ask Creator to awaken the tzaddik inside of you. Because the why we're here, in a nutshell, we're here to become righteous. One of the reasons we came to this dimension is to become our higher self, not to become somebody else as a righteous. It's important to learn from righteous, but the righteous themselves telling us the only mission we have here is eventually to really, while we connect to our higher self, to become one. You know, people saying, when I meditate, and one person, when I stop from my meditation, I'm coming outside world, so many things, we have so many things around us, which is taking us away from meditation. But really righteous person, they stay in meditation all the time. Everything what they do, when they talk, how they look at people, they don't, they don't make difference between the way how they will talk to waiter or the way how they talk to prime minister. You same with everyone, because you have another creator in front of you. We have to remember that. Okay, it's really, really important. Now I want to share with you guys the moment of let me see, I'm gonna come back to the screen. Yeah, so you can see the day Mercury started retrograde, he was has a conjunction with Moon and was very close to Uranus. And it's another thing I want to talk to us about the Uranus, because Jupiter was, because Uranus and Jupiter both really tremendous big planets, even though Uranus is outer planet and Jupiter is inner planet, which is directly affecting us. We need to understand that Jupiter came from very emotional battle while he had Rahu here. So this is why we all felt from that moment and now. But one thing I want just to mention, because he was in a positive degree, one of the only few positive degrees in Aries, in oceans in a royal degree, it's called, like nobilism, royal power. He really gave us a lot of energy, which is we need to know how to use it. And I'm gonna make quickly run so you can see how Jupiter gonna run a little bit for this period of time. You can see he's gonna progress to lowest degree, and he's gonna get a little bit away from Uranus, and he will get more closer to lunar nodes, to Rahu. Okay, you can see I'm just making movement here, so you can see that. Now, every week when I'm going to do prediction and explain to you sky, always look at my video and see where Jupiter at. And if you have important planet in Aries and it's gonna Jupiter gonna pass this degree, make sure with the 3-degree even, make sure you're aware of the day. These days, this period of time, you will be challenged for the truth. You will be challenged to understand how to not to connect to the noise around you, not to make you weaker, but to make you stronger. This is why when I provide you with this combination of Hebrew alphabet, definitely use it. Use this tools. It's extremely important. You see, you always can see when you can save this video, because the more it's still movement, you can see that. You see over here, you can see the date. Look at my arrow. You can see on your left hand side the dates. He's already on the middle of December. Okay, and look at the Jupiter. So it's going to help you guys to understand the movement of the Jupiter. I'm going to stop Jupiter on December 31st, so we can all, there you go, I stop. So look what's happened on December 31st. By the way, I'm using Canadian chart, and it's going to be really interesting period of time for Canadians as well. And look what's happened with Uranus as well. Uranus touching 25-degree in area, and Jupiter will be actually ending his retrograde. Let's move a little bit more. January 1st. Yeah. And there you go. He's actually going to be completely stationary on January 4th. Okay, so January 4th, this is when he's going to be stationary. And what important about this period of time, of course, I will make different video and I'm going to explain for the 12 signs. We need to understand when he's going to get stationary. There will be so many changes in the world, sudden events, because we have a Uranus in the same house with Jupiter, while Rahu will move to Pisces, and Rahu in Pisces is going to be a very interesting period of time for all of us. What spirituality represents for us, what is the essence of behind the scene, what is the really how we're going to actually apply esoteric knowledge, our spirituality, to really practical day-to-day life, not longer just talk about spirituality and have a nice conversation, how really practically you become spiritual being. This is the time we're entering. Okay, there's going to be exams for all of us. So check your chart. I hope you did your chart, your natal chart, and definitely understand what's happening now. Look what's happening. What's happening with the moon of date of January 24th. Moon will be conjunct Ketu, and it's going to be conjunct Ketu, and he's going to be actually the Mars at the time. Mars going to be 5 degree retrograde and invisible, and he's actually will be aspecting the moon and the Ketu, and with opposition with Rahu. So beginning of January, it's going to be a lot of things going to happen. It's a lot of different events. So for us as spiritual beings, we need to hold a space. And we really need to keep our energy. And please, guys, don't be involved too much with conspiracy theory. In a sense, what I mean by that, I'm not saying there's a lot of truth will be coming out, but again, what is the truth? What is the lie? Our place to hold a space as a spiritual being, not to be reactive, to give a hand to another person, to understand what's happened, to be involved in our communities, by helping other people, by giving a kind heart. I'm saying such a simple things, but it's the most hard thing for us to do. And we need to understand why. And, I'm looking the Neptune in 1 degree, who's actually touching Markaba, and it's another very karmic, the water going to tell us a lot about our behavior, the oceans and everything. And because Jupiter start his retrograde in the connection to the oceans, you remember what's happened with the water in the world. Jupiter expanded because he start with this position. So it's another thing for us to understand. Okay, what else I wanted to tell you guys? Because Jupiter in the female chart represent male energy. So when you're going to check the Jupiter in your chart, and if, for example, you have a Jupiter in opposition aspect with the degrees it's going to go through this period of time, make sure you really and if you male as well and you do have this combination, make sure you understand what does spirituality mean for you, and what does the relationship means for you, and how it's important to nourish relationship, because it's always easy to make decision and to lose. It's much harder to invest, but it's not supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be it's actually in our essence to invest in relationship. So definitely pay attention in your verbal behavior. How do you speak? Because Aries represent a head, our mouth as well would come from our mouth, how we hear, how we see things. And Jupiter will expand, and because he's retrograde, he will give us some kind of illusion in order for us to learn how to remove all the noise and to really to stay focused, to be present. And before I'm going to end my video, I just want to remind us about the very basic tools, how it's important to be present. I can't stress enough the importance of be present, aligned with the moment. And you can really practice with a very simple tools. Let's say you're walking in the stairs, just think about stairs you're walking on it. When you cook, just look at the beautiful vegetables, fruits, and have appreciation and talk to the vegetables and fruits and have fun. Don't constantly think about what's happened yesterday, how much you need to do tomorrow. This is the moment when your body become older. But as soon you stop this process, soon you stop thinking constantly about past and future and worry, and you know how to be present. This is when your all your system, your body, your molecules, your essence, everything become still, become in the place of dharmita, which is the place of stillness and calmness. And this is when the aging process stop. Okay, guys, so I want to wish you guys many blessings, and I made this video a few days before Yom Kippur. If you celebrate Yom Kippur, I wish you Gmar Chatima Tova, and to all of us guys to really do our work in order to bring final redemption, Mashiach, closer as possible. Much love, all the best. Bye-bye.
In chapter 2 we read, "And the Lord spoke unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, The children of Israel shall pitch by their fathers' houses, every man with his own standard, according to the ensigns." Now, for someone who is involved in astrology, at least the second two words will have a great deal of significance. You know about houses in charts. You know about signs of the zodiac. And so, once you immediately translate correctly, we are not corrupting the word, because otot means signs. And levet avotam, your father's house, meaning houses, as there are houses in the study of astrology. On a very general basis, everything mentioned in chapter 2 of Numbers deals specifically with the aspect of astrology and what all the signs mean. There are 12 months. You will notice that each section of the 12 months, from a Kabbalistic astrological point of view, why are there 4? The 4 represent the Tetragrammaton, the most powerful channel by which we can control the cosmos. In fact, it's the only way you can control the cosmos. If we're referring to rising above the influences of the planets, if we're discussing rising above the influences of the signs of the zodiac, you must, as we will shortly learn again in the Zohar, you must have this kavanah. You must, kivun means you must know the structure of the universe, because as long as you do not know the structure of the universe, you cannot connect to these energy intelligences, because they are there for your bidding. To that extent, they are there for you to control them. They were only created, as it says in Genesis 2. Nothing moved. The plants were fossilized. Animals didn't move. The heavens didn't move. There was no rain. Nothing. The sun didn't shine. The moment man appeared, everything started moving. Why? To indicate to us that man is, in truth, the center of the universe, and he controls not only his own destiny, which he doesn't control for most people, but that he can also control the entire universe. The entire universe.